Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the Interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you on a glorious summer morning in the Moleshire in this Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. Hope you guys out there are doing well, man. You guys having a great day? I'm having an amazing day, guys. My goodness. I have spent the last 2 hours of my life in my garden, sorting out my flower beds and sweeping my patio, getting the place ready for some summertime barbecue action, or as we in South Africa like to call it, braai time, baby. Yeah, in South Africa, a barbecue is called a braai, and us South Africans generally love to cook stuff on fires, especially when the sun is shining. And the good news is, guys, in England, the summer has finally kicked in. Oh, it is amazing. My brain can't even really fathom what is going on right now, man. I'm recording Minecraft right now in shorts and a t-shirt. It feels like I've been frozen solid for the last 9 months in England. And finally the summer is kicking in. So I'm feeling really good today, guys. I've been in the sunshine. I'm feeling a little bit sunburnt at the moment, to be honest. Probably going to be a bit red on stream this week. But it's been worth it, my friends. And while I've been out there, I have been having some great epiphanies, some great ideas for today's episode. So here I am, back with the tasty beverage over here. Give me 1 second. Ready to play some Minecraft with you guys, and then I'm going to go back outside because the day is too amazing to spend it inside playing video games. But for now, my friends, we're coming together to play some Minecraft. And hey, listen, if you aren't having as quite a good a day as the ReNDoG, kick back and relax, baby. Get yourself a beverage, something crunchy to snack on. Hang out with your dog for 20 minutes or so. And by the end of this, you should feel right as rain. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we're going to be kicking things off here at Moleраil Incorporated. There's been something bothering me in our Minecraft survival world, guys. And that is this giant gaping hole over here where the railway lines are coming into the Moleshire. This is an epic health and safety violation of epic proportions, if you know what I'm talking about. We've been trying in this series to build a massive wall around our Moleshire base to keep the undead filth from entering this zone and killing our innocent gobbets. And at the moment, we got 2 massive entryways. We've got one over there, which is going to become the gate of the Moleshire, but we also have this massive railway entrance. And this is not good, man. Undead filth could wander into the Moleshire at any moment and lay down some serious murder upon any innocent being inside of the Moleshire. So today, I want to kick things off by sorting this out. I had an idea when I was plucking weeds for this particular area, and I think it's going to turn out really nicely. A little bit later on today too, guys, we're going to head over to Moletown and work a little bit more on the chicken farmer's house. We went back to the drawing board on that project, didn't we? But I've had a couple of ideas to bring that chicken farmer's house into the awesomeness that is within my brain or something. And clearly the sun has cooked my brain a little bit, guys. So if I say some derpy stuff in this episode, please do forgive me, okay? I'm not used to all of the sun on my body, and especially on the top of my head, which I think is actually burnt right now. Anyway, I've got some ideas for this, guys. I think it's going to be a pretty simple build, man. We'll be able to throw this up in 10 minutes or so, I think. And what I'd like to do is get some sort of an archway or something going over this thing. And I also want to use some spruce fences here. It's kind of difficult to explain exactly what I'm thinking. So you know what? I'm going to get some blocks down, guys. It's the start of a brand new week, man. I'm feeling really sweet right now. Feeling very happy in general. And that's mostly due to you guys out there, man. Thanks for all the amazing support you've been giving me here in this series on my YouTube channel, on my Twitch channel, on Twitter, everywhere. You guys are making me feel real good in 2018. So thank you, everybody, for all the love and support, man. You know I appreciate it, guys. And yeah, keep it coming, baby. Keep it coming. Keep the ReNDoG brain fueled with inspiration. That's not quite looking exactly what I'm thinking. I'm going to have to do a little bit more work on this, I think. So I got all these blocks in my inventory, and I guess I'll just start crafting. Let's see if we can figure something out here. I think that this particular gate, this railway gate, needs to be kind of reinforced, right? Considering it is quite a vulnerable point in the Moleshire, I think that the gobbets would have worked a little bit hard on sort of reinforcing it. So I got some stone bricks here just to sort of beef it up a little bit. And what I would like to do is maybe let me get the fences in here. This is kind of what I'm thinking, right? Maybe we could set up an interesting little fence like entryway, I guess, that is also an arch. So it could arch a little bit like this, right? We don't want to go over the railway line, though, of course. We want to be able to get out of here. But maybe what we could do is have some entryways like this. That looks pretty good. And yeah, that sort of looks like a little bit like an arch, right? I kind of want the fences to go a little bit higher up, though. So maybe if we get the fences all the way up there, that should look pretty awesome. Also, this gravel, man, we need to work on this part of our world, guys. You know what the thing about this series is? We got so many new projects opening up right now, right? It's difficult to keep track of everything that's going on around here. But let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. I like that. I like that. Except for that block that's sort of floating up in this business. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I can come up with something sweet here, guys. So I'm going to get some blocks placed out in this business to kick things off today. Yeah, that looks nice, man. I like that sort of archway there. But while I was in the garden, guys, getting some sun on my freaking face for once. Oh, man, I was feeling good. And I was thinking about exactly what we were going to be doing today. And I kind of got thinking about railway lines and why I love railway lines so much in Minecraft. Those of you guys who've been with me for a very long time, you'll know that I'm kind of obsessed with railway lines. I think they're awesome. I love setting up massive railway networks all over my Minecraft worlds, even though in modern day Minecraft, railway lines have become kind of redundant, you know. Back in the day when we first started playing Minecraft 5 years ago, railway lines were super important because it was much harder to get around the Minecraft world. These days you got elytras, you got horses, you got ender pearls, but back in the day, man, you needed railway lines to help you out, to help you get around your world. And yeah, these days it's much easier, of course, but that has not stopped me loving railway lines like nobody's business. And I know lots of you guys out there also love railway lines. They are freaking sweet, aren't they? And I was thinking while I was in the garden why I love railway lines so much, and I think I've figured it out, man. I'm gonna blame my grandfather on my love for railway lines, and this takes me back to a memory when I was about 10 years old or so. I was hanging out at my grandparents' house, and my OUPA, which is Dutch for grandfather. My grandparents were in fact Dutch. My OUPA and my OMA. That's how you say grandfather and grandmother in Dutch. Shout out to all of you Dutch people out there, man. You know what I'm saying. Netherlands is my motherland. Well, it's my ancestral motherland, but yeah, shout out to all the Dutch people, man. Love your faces. Anyway, I was over at my Oma and my Opa's house, and man, my Opa was I don't know how to explain it in a nice way. He was a hoarder. Let me just put it that way, okay? My Opa loved to hoard. And anything that my Opa could hoard and anything that he could keep, he would. And he used to keep everything that he hoarded in his garage. And he lived in the same, my Oma and my Opa lived in the same house in Johannesburg, I think, for the majority of their lives in South Africa. And over those many, many decades of living, my grandfather had accumulated quite a lot of junk in that garage. So much so that there was barely space for the car. I mean, when you went into the garage, there was a car, and then there was just stuff everywhere. And all kinds of stuff, from car bits to computer bits to old little bits of like metal. I mean, you know, just everything that my grandfather found interesting in his life, he jammed in that garage, and it used to drive my Oma absolutely crazy, man. And every now and then she would shout at him, and he'd have to go out there and do some cleaning up. How's this looking? This is looking pretty good, right? I like this. Maybe we can do a little bit more work over here, right? Try and make it a little bit more interesting. Anyway, it was a beautiful summer afternoon, just like it is right now in England today, guys, where my grandmother, I was chilling there. I was about 10 years old or so, and we just had some tea and biscuits, which was a tradition in my grandparents' house. We would always have a cup of tea and some Dutch biscuits. Oh, man, love them Dutch biscuits. They were like covered in, oh, you know what I would love to have? A little bit of chiseled stone over here. They were these Dutch biscuits covered in sugar. Oh, man, they were so freaking delicious. You Dutch people out there, you know what I'm talking about. We'd also have some stroopwafels, which are basically Dutch waffles, and they are also amazing. If any of you guys have ever had a Dutch stroopwafel, you'll know what I'm talking about, man. They are absolutely gloriously delicious. Anyway, we'd had some tea and some stroopwafels and some beautiful Dutch biscuits, and my grandmother had had enough of the garage, and she started shouting at my granddad in Dutch, saying, "You better go clean that garage today, man. I want it sorted out. You need to start organizing stuff in there. Seriously, it's an absolute dog show. What will the neighbors think?" You know, all that sort of jazz. And my grandfather looked at me and he said, "Come, you're going to come and help me clean up the garage." And I was like, "No, I don't want to clean the garage out. That's so boring. I wanted to play in the garden. I wanted to, I don't know, go do other stuff." But man, my grandfather was like, "No, you're going to come and help me." So I went and joined my grandfather in the garage for the afternoon. And let me tell you, we got cleaning like nobody's business. When I say we got down to business, the business of cleaning, I'm not kidding, guys. My grandfather decided to go absolutely crazy, man. He went to the fridge, got himself an ice cold beer, got me an ice cold Coca-Cola, and we headed off to the garage for an entire afternoon of cleaning. Now, in my grandfather's garage, there was the car section where he parked his garage, and then above the car was kind of like a loft area, right, that you had to climb up a ladder to get to. And my granddad got up into that loft, and he started handing boxes down to me. How's this looking, by the way? I think that looks pretty sweet, right? Yeah, I'm liking that. I wouldn't mind some smooth stone in here, though. So let's get a little bit of smooth stone up in this business, too. Anyway, he went up into the loft and he started handing me boxes, all types of boxes, big, small boxes, and there was lots of things rattling around in these boxes. He must have handed me about, I don't know, 20 boxes or so, I would say, and he just told me to go pile them outside the garage in the driveway, and I made a nice little neat pile there of boxes, and it must have taken us a couple of hours or so to get all of those boxes down from the loft and into the onto the driveway, and we spent the rest of the time sort of cleaning up the area around the vehicle too, just getting everything neatened up a little bit. And yeah, it was looking pretty good, man. We got everything sort of sorted out. We sorted out all of my grandfather's tools, got them back into their boxes, into their cases, because they were just tools all over the place, man. And we got everything cleaned up. And after a couple of hours or so, my grandfather said to me, "Okay, we've had enough of this nonsense. We've been cleaning all afternoon. Let's take these boxes inside." And immediately I knew this was going to be a bad idea. And as we started moving all of the boxes from the driveway into the house, I could see the look on my Oma's face. She was not happy, man. She suddenly saw all of these boxes coming from the garage into her house. And she obviously thought that my grandfather had decided that he was going to keep some of his junk inside of the house. And she was having none of it, man. She was not happy with it. So she told us that we need to take those boxes into the spare room. She didn't want to see them at all. How does that look with that chisel brick? That looks pretty cool, right? I like that, man. It's coming together pretty nice here. I'm digging this, man. I'm digging this. We're going to have to do the other side too, though, right? Yeah. So we moved all of the boxes from the driveway into the spare room, and my grandfather, he was a sneaky guy. He loved sort of like giving us surprises as kids. Did your grandfather do this to you guys too? My grandfather was a great proponent of the surprise. He absolutely loved a good surprise. And that afternoon, I got the surprise of my life, because those boxes that my grandfather and I had collected from the loft of the garage, they were filled with some pretty special stuff, man. We went into the spare room and we closed the door because we could still hear my grandmother, my Oma, complaining about the fact that there were now a bunch of boxes inside of her house. We closed that door to stop that noise, and my grandfather gave me a box that he chose from this giant pile of boxes in the corner of the room, and he gave it to me and he said, "Open that." And I didn't know what was going on, man. I thought these boxes were probably full of tools and a whole bunch of other junk. Oh my goodness, I need some more chiseled stone up here. Telling stories and playing Minecraft at the same time is hard, dudes, okay? So much dirt pitch going on right now. Anyway, he handed me one of these boxes and he told me to open it up. And I opened that box up, and inside that box was one of the most awesome things that my 10-year-old brain had ever seen. Because inside that box was a plethora of miniature train set stuff. Miniature train set railway stations, miniature train paraphernalia is the only way that I can describe it. My grandfather, you see, turns out, was an absolute huge fan of miniature trains, and he spent his entire life, from a child all the way up to an adult, collecting everything that he could with regards to miniature train sets. And my grandfather had an absolutely amazing collection of miniature train stuff. Everything that you can imagine, from the trains themselves to cargo trains to tanker trains to different types of engines, some that ran on petrol, some that ran on power, some that ran on battery. trees. He had hundreds and hundreds of different types of miniature buildings, miniature trees, bushes. It was a literal 10-year-old's dream. It was the most amazing thing that I'd ever seen inside of that box. And my grandfather had obviously had a plan. He was going to clean up the garage, but at the same time, he was going to surprise his grandson with his amazing collection of miniature train sets and miniature train paraphernalia. And my grandfather and I'll never forget it. One of my favorite memories of my OUPA. We spent that entire day unpacking those boxes, getting all of those miniature tracks out, all of the engines, all of the different train pieces, all of the different miniature buildings. And we set up the most amazing miniature train track and basically a town inside of the spare room. The spare room was actually massive, but we built this train line going all the way through the room, under the chairs, under the bed. It went in one side, like the train line went under the bed here and then came out here and then swooped around and went under the chair, under the desk in the room, and then came all the way back again and connected underneath the bed. And then on this side of the bed, we made like a little train station with the miniature houses. And on this side, we made a forest with all of the miniature trees and stuff that he had. And we kept that door closed, man. And my grandfather and I just disappeared for a while. And I'll never forget, the look on my grandfather's face on that day. I think he had such an amazing afternoon with his grandson that day. He must have been about 65, I think, at the time. But I think on that afternoon, my grandfather returned to just being a 10-year-old kid again. And he was on his knees, just like me, crawling around the room, placing the railway lines, getting the engines fired up. We'd put a little bit of fuel into the engines themselves to get them started, or we'd plug the electric engines in, and we'd put some batteries into one. We tested all different types of engines, all different types of configurations. We saw how many cargo things we could stick on the back of the train engines. We put heavy stuff onto the train engines to see if they could still pull stuff. We did all of that stuff, guys. And for that period of time, yeah, like I say, I think my grandfather was just a 10-year-old kid again, back in Holland, playing with his miniature train sets. And I'll never forget that memory. It was absolutely beautiful. And you know what? I think that's probably why I love railway lines so much in Minecraft. It kind of reminds me of my OUPA, and it reminds me of those days and that particular afternoon with him where we just sort of disappeared into a world of childhood awesomeness and had an amazing time together. And oh man, I'll never forget that. Quick update from the mole hole, Cyberdiggity dogs. Although this place should probably be called the Jank Hole. Am I right? It is looking ridiculously janktastic in here. And you know what, guys? I am tired of living in the jankiest Minecraft hole I've ever seen. Over the next few episodes, we're going to start working on this, okay? We can no longer live like this. It's just too much jank for one Minecraft brain to be able to absorb. And I've also plugged up all of the health and safety holes. A ton of you guys in the comments have been going crazy at me saying, Ren, go and fill in the holes in the mole hole, man. You're going to fall in there. You're going to die. There are some health and safety violations going on. And as we've been dealing with health and safety in today's episode, I got all of the holes plugged up and some glass over the sugarcane aqueduct pipes. Looking pretty sweet, right? Looking pretty sweet. Although, let's be honest, there is absolutely nothing sweet about this cave right now. It is absolutely horribly janktastic. And we need to get this sorted. I've updated the map also, by the way. I wanted to see what the Lucky Bridge looks like. Looks absolutely beautiful there, doesn't it? With all the new trees and stuff. And we can also see our brand new bridge that we made there. Although these trees seem to have lined up in a weird little row over here. That's kind of weird, right? It's messing with my OCD a little bit, if I'm honest. Kind of want to move one of these trees. Anyway, that's looking awesome. Let's get ourselves up to Mole Town and start working on the chicken farmer's hobbit hole. Or gobbit hole, should I say. And that's going to be awesome, because as soon as we get a nice safe house next to the chicken farm, we'll be able to ship over that butcher from the desert village and start getting some emeralds for raw chicken. Man, I never thought I'd get so much Minecraft inspiration from plucking weeds out of a real life flower bed. You know what I'm saying, guys? While I was in the sun this morning in my garden, I had a really great idea for our chicken farmer gobbit hole over here. You can probably smell what the ReNDoG is cooking with right now. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? we're going to make a sweet, sweet gobbet hole in the side of this naturally formed hill over here. I've done some terraforming already, and I've got the floor of the house in line with the path, which means that this path will be able to go directly into our new farmer's hole over here. Oops, that's my bad. By the way, repaired paw, used a diamond for that, and yeah, we're back up to full durability, or almost full durability on paw. And yeah, we'll be able to make a path coming into this house from the pathway over here. And what we'll be able to do, of course, is make a really, really sweet house inside of this cave over here, right? Which is going to become the gobbet hole. Now, one of the challenges making a base in Minecraft designed after the Shire in Lord of the Rings is making your gobbet holes look like a house, right? And what we try to do here on the blacksmith hole build is make it look like there is a house inside of this mountain by adding these entryways, by adding a chimney. And we need to apply that exact same philosophy out here for the chicken farmer's hole, right? Now, I've got a plan for this. Bear with me, though, because I thought about this while I was in the garden today. It might not work out exactly the way that I wanted to, but let me do a bit of experimenting over here. What I'd like to do is have a beautiful little entryway like we have in the blacksmith hole, have one of these little roofs, but next to that roof, I want to install a window. Right? That's kind of where my brain is at right now. So maybe what we can do is install a very, very basic window over here. And I guess the window needs to be here so that we can see out of it. So it's going to look a little something like this. But I want the window to be a combination of wood and some dirt, right? Because this is a gobbet hole. It is built inside of a mountain. The gobbets like to live inside of holes for some reason. Maybe they're lazy, I don't know. Or maybe they're just moles like me. They like mole holes, I suppose. But what I'd like to do here is have a window on the outside over here, but also maybe have like a lip of dirt. Let's see if we can get up here, sort of going over the top of the window and sort of underneath it, right? So I want the window to look like it's inside of the hole. So maybe what we could do is just have a little bit of dirt like this. I want to keep a little bit of the wood exposed though, right? So maybe what we'll do is that. Hello, hi sheep. What's happening? No, this is not your house, dude. This is a house for humans. Get your sheepish butt out of here. Jeez. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so we could have like a really interesting little lip of dirt going over the window like this, right? I think that looks pretty sweet. And maybe then we could have the entryway into the house over here. So let's get a couple more blocks up. So this will be the door into the gobbet hole over here, right? We'll probably want to open this up just a little bit more. Oops. Let's get this going a little bit on this side too, right? So maybe the hole will start over here, or the walls of the hole anyway will come up like that. So we've got a sort of entryway in there. I guess this will have to be wood too. So that'll be the door. That'll be the little window. And I think I've got a little bit of glass here too that we can use. Hang on. Yeah, we've got a bit of glass here too, right? So we're going to have a window looking out over Mole Town like that. I think that looks pretty sweet. And maybe we can get some leaves and stuff around here too. And this will be the entryway into the gobbet hole. And above this entryway, we can install one of these beautiful little roof entry things, the lobby, if you will, of the hole. And that could actually work out pretty sweet. You guys picking up what I'm putting down over here? Does this make any sense at all? Oh, I do love it when a plan comes together in Minecraft, guys. This is such a better design for our chicken farm project than what we've been attempting in the last few episodes, right? We can see the beautiful chicken coops over there. This little gobbet hole is coming together, something fierce. Love the window. I think that's a great addition to our gobbet hole design palette, and we definitely have to try and do this for the other gobbet holes that we will create here in Mole Town. But yeah, just finished off working on this little roof. It's exactly the same roof design that we had in the organic section of the chicken farm that we removed in the previous episode, and it's way better here, I think. Look at that. Doesn't that look sweet? I really love how the entrance into this this chicken farmer's gobbet hole is flush with the path that goes all the way around here. I guess we do need to extend the path size just a little bit around the corner so that we can travel all the way over there to the chicken farm. Maybe we want to get this connected up even more to the chicken farm. I don't know. I'll figure something out for that. We can add a few more slabs over here to make it easier to walk. But yeah, that's looking really sweet, right? And by the way, this sheep has decided that he's living in here. There he is. Hi. He is a chicken farmer, apparently. That's a sheep. I don't know what to say. It's just weird. It is the Mole Shire, though, guys. Weird things happen around here, okay? What can I say? But man, I'm absolutely loving this design. I think it's really nice. I really love the window. That's my favorite part about this particular design. And I thought what we could do, just as one last thing for today's episode, is maybe we could get another window on this side of this gobbet hole. So we could do exactly the same thing. And yeah, the interior of the gobbet hole, I guess, will be made out of wood. Maybe the roof we can keep natural, but certainly we probably want the interior to look a little bit like the storage hole, right? The same sort of design palette as the storage hole. And maybe we can have like a double window over here, right? Looking out over the pens there. The chicken farmer does need to see what he's working with over here, right? And yeah, look at that, man. That looks really, really awesome. Maybe we can get this sort of covered up with a bit of dirt too, right? I kind of want to keep a little bit of the wood showing though, right? Because I think the wood is what makes it really stand out. Maybe this is just too many bits of glass over here. So maybe we get rid of that, get a little bit of wood in there too. And a little bit more dirt here too, right? So that's sort of like a window from the gobbet hole. I like it. I'm not entirely sold by the glass, if I'm honest with you guys. I'm thinking maybe what we need to do is, instead of glass, maybe use iron fences or something. I think the glass looks a little bit weird, doesn't it? I'm not entirely sure about that. But yeah, that works pretty sweetly, I think. Maybe we can even push this back a bit. I think the wall probably needs to come forward a block here so that it's easier to expose it. But I guess we could have a little bit of a dirt cave coming out over here, and that might look pretty sweet. Yeah, something like that, right? That looks pretty sweet. Then we can get some grass growing out here and some leaves and whatnot. But yeah, man, that looks sweet. Oh, baby, this project's coming together really, really nicely. Look at that. Yeah, that's amazing. That is the little touch that we needed for the design of our gobbet holes, isn't it, guys? That is the final little sort of thing that we needed to pull the whole of the Mole Shire together. And if we can make all of our future gobbet holes look like this, oh man, this place is going to be cooking with gas, baby. You know what I'm saying? I do want to work a little bit more on making this feel like a home, though. So I was thinking maybe we could find some sort of way to get a chimney on top there. And maybe we could use some clay bricks for that particular chimney. This is a sort of industrial build over here, right? So we've got an industrial chimney, but we do need a sort of a residential style chimney. And maybe just using good old clay bricks might work quite nicely. Maybe up here we have like a chimney, and then we can work on the top of this, get some nice terraforming into it, make it look really beautiful and stuff. But man, this is coming together a treat. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do any of that stuff today, guys. To be honest with you, I just want to go outside again and spend some time in the sun because it's such a beautiful day outside. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Hey, listen, guys, hope you enjoyed the episode, man. If you did, don't forget to show me some love, okay? Hit that freaking like button, guys. Only takes a second, and you will be surprised how much it helps me out. It tells YouTube you guys are enjoying the videos, and that, of course, gets the videos out to more people out there, and we can get some more Cyberdiggity dogs here in the Cyberdiggity Dog Nation. Thanks for watching, guys. ReNDoG Dog signing out. How many times have I said diggity in the last 30 seconds? ReNDoG Dog signing out from the Mole Diggity Shire. We'll smell you all in the next episode.